welcome to Wednesday night's episode of the Blitz Pickup. Your girl is back and healthy. No trades, nothing. It was crickets around here. So with that, where do we go from here? GM, QB, head coach, everybody else. We're going to talk about it because I want to hear what they have to say. And I think tonight might be a good night since Lou is back. So Lou, tell him, come on
up. We found him. He made it.
We found him.
You know what? I'm glad
he made it, y'all. We got him, y'all.
I'm glad, Jess. I am so glad you said Lou is back because on the other, Monday's episode, there were some shots taken, right? Some bang bang, right? and again, they said I was running out here in these streets. People said they were putting out APBs out for me. Bro, your boy is back, man. We live, man.
Came in a tank top and slides. That's what I hope you came in today.
Hey, Jess, man. Jess, I cannot believe you did not defend me when Tone is out here trying to slander my name. Running from the smoke is the words that was said up here, Jess.
Hey, listen, man. Hey, man, I'm glad we found you safe and sound. I was a bit worried. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you were heartbroken, if you was in disbelief. I don't know what it was, bro. I'm just glad to see that you made it, man. You found your way. I guess you went to the Walgreens or CVS, got you a GPS, and found your way back to the show. You know what I'm saying? You was lost, but now you're found.
Yeah. Hey, man,
now you found.
Life was lifing, man. Life was lifing on Monday, man. I got caught up, and I thought I was gonna be able to make it, and I wasn't, and it was it's crazy, man. But we here now, man. So
you and Chris Greer at the same time, huh? Life was like
I was helping my man try to get a job. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was.
Stop the cap.
We know what was really going on. It's all good. I mean, listen, man, you back, so maybe the smoke done died down. I get it. You like the police in the movies? They always show up when everything is already done.
Oh my god!
All the smoke done died down. Now Lewis want to show up when it is nothing else to do. I get it. Sometimes when people close to us get the axe, you need some time to heal. So I'm not mad at it. I ain't gonna say I understand because I would never. I'm always I would have pulled up. I'm not running from no smoke, but I'm not gonna kill you. I killed you last show.
So the lies continue. I see. Okay, all right, cool. So the lies continue.
No, welcome back, man. Listen, man. I was ready for a nice back and forth. I had some ammunition ready, but yeah, man, that life be lifing. But hey, maybe we can get into it today. You got me still. Got some stuff to talk about. Juicy couple topics. So, man, let's get it started.
Let's get it popping then. All right, so
juicy kind of topics is wild, by the way. Hey,
well, he said something about Greer and something at the same time earlier, so he's definitely starting.
I said they were lifing. Yeah, him and Greer was lifing at the same time. Life was lifing at the same time. It kind of like when Tua went down with that injury, Batman went down coincidentally. I don't know. Maybe it was a coincidence. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just overthinking it.
Batman catching strays is so random.
I'm just saying that's his homeboy. Maybe he taught him something. Hey, Lewis, I heard Tony H and HR are the same.
Is that another one of those learned behaviors? Didn't we have a conversation about learned behavior?
Oh my God! You remember that is a fact. He's kind of trying to help out Jack Jones. Man, you heard us trying to help Jack. Come on, now there got to be he's soft.
That's crazy, man. Soft, man.
Trying to blame him. Blame him on the locker room. Get out of here. I forgot about that, man. Learn behavior. No.
All right, so
what's up? I'm just.
What happened?
I would say first topic was good.
Oh, well, what's up? Anyway, nothing happened. Literally, like there was no trades. We all sat around, and like I kind of mentioned it to you when I had talked to you and said when I saw the little Sauce Gardner thing kind of happen, I thought that was it. It was going to be like boom, boom, boom. There was going to be shit popping off all around the league, and ain't nothing happened. Especially over here or over there in South Florida, I should say, nothing happened. Chubb, Fitzpatrick, Waddle, Sealer, everybody's still in their same spot. Nothing happened. No moves. No houses for sale. How do you feel about it? Whoever I guess wants to go first. I feel like we should let Lou go first since he wasn't here.
You know what? That is a good idea. I just want to say 2 firsts for Sauce Gardner and Donnie Mitchell, and we couldn't get. You know what? Go ahead, Lou. I don't.
That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. I know y'all touched on it on Monday. Well, again, I guess the trade deadline didn't happen. We'll get into the Jalen Phillips here. At least for me, Jalen Phillips being traded for a 3rd round pick, I think it was a great move. Again, y'all were right. I was wrong. I didn't think he would be getting a 3rd round pick. I already took my losses on that. But as far as I'm concerned, that was the right situation or right move to make because they basically told you they had no indication of bringing him back this season. He was playing on his 5th-year option. If you don't plan on re-signing him, get what you could get for him. I thought it was a good move getting a 3rd round pick. And plus, y'all already know, it looks like Tarzan plays like Jane. Like, it is what it is. So good riddance to Jalen Phillips. After that, to Jess's point, though, we didn't see anything from the Dolphins. And what's crazy to me is it's been reported they had a 5th round pick offer for Bradley Chubb. They denied that. We all know Bradley Chubb ain't going to be on this roster in 2026. We know that. So what you holding on to him for? 8 more games? That's what you doing? I'm sorry, bro. Somebody in that front office didn't make the move. Whoever it is, if it's Greer 2.0, y'all know how I call him, or is it Brandon Shore, or is it Tom Garfinkel, or is it Stephen Ross, or is it the son-in-law? Somebody didn't pull the trigger. I just don't understand if a man that's not going to be on your roster moving forward, there's at least a pick out there for him, and you don't take it, that's a loss by the Miami Dolphins. Been reported they had a 1st round pick for Jalen Waddle on the table. At least one. Waddle's still part here. We didn't even hear nothing about A-Chain. Just told you, though, conversations were had about Zach Sealer. They were talking about they want a second day pick, a 2nd round pick for Zach Sealer. At the end of the day, bro, the Dolphins, it seems like, has no direction. And Minkah Fitzpatrick, another one. If I don't think he's in the future plans by any stretch of the imagination, why not go and get at least something for him? It just seemed to me, Tone and Jess, they weren't even listening to offers. All that shit is cute that they put out there. Oh, we're listening and we're doing this. I don't think they were in the business of trading anybody. The one person they were willing to trade, he got up out of here. I think it was a lot of smoke and mirrors by the Miami Dolphins. I think there's no direction. There's no leadership. And that's why we're in the position we are now.
I'm not surprised.
I was muted. Can I say something first? I was muted.
Go ahead, of course.
For some reason, I was muted. I saw something on Twitter earlier. I don't know how true it was. Didn't really divulge into looking into it too deep. But I did see something that said that there was a lot of confusion around the league of what the Dolphins were doing, or what they wanted to do at the trade deadline. So I'm confused myself of why confusion was even part of the plan, I guess.
I think wasn't that the fifth extra account that tweeted out? Okay, let me kick it to. I usually don't do this, but let me pull a Lewis real quick. Stop listening to these people on X that act like they know a lot. Listen, a lot of these people, first of all, those accounts, they just putting out their feelings as if they're facts. including the people in the building, because somebody go reach out to Omar. I wanted to wait before I got petty till Lewis got back. Somebody reach out to Omar Kelly's, the Omar Kelly's in the world that got them people that's coming in those spaces and coming over here trying to tell us, when I was telling people all the time that that lawsuit is not the reason that Chris Grier wasn't getting fired. I said it. I kept telling people, I'm like, it makes no sense, especially when it started coming out about, that Brian Flores has text messages between him and Chris Grier. At that point, it's what do I need Chris Grier for? I got the actual text message. But, some people don't use common sense. I do all the time. So, listen, I'm going to leave that there. And then with that same account that you're talking about came out and said that God dog it, the name is slipping me. But the dude that played for the U, and I think he's in the Patriots front office right now.
Alonzo Highsmith.
Alonzo Highsmith was showing interest in the Miami Dolphins GM job. Now let me explain to y'all why that makes no sense. First of all, you're working for a franchise already. You have never in the history of sports or anything heard a candidate showing interest in a job when they're already at somewhere else, and it's coming out in the public. What you do here is the Miami Dolphins were showing interest in Alonzo Highsmith because they probably got an axe to interview him, or the Miami Dolphins is showing interest in said candidate. See, but things like that, people just overlook, and I'm like, that makes no sense, right? But no, when I read the quotes and the tweets and the posts, I pay attention. I'm like, no, that doesn't make sense. They're doing that for clicks and things of that nature. So just forget about it. So if they say it's people around the league that doesn't know what direction it is, that's their feelings. That sounds like all of the GMs on X that they feel that way, and everyone was confused. Now, me for once, I wasn't confused. I was the same way that I'm always. The way I am, I was the same way when it came to the situation, which is, it don't make sense to me if they don't plan on hiring someone immediately for them to be making all kind of crazy moves. Now, if someone come to blew the doors off, or it was a no-brainer situation, okay, you make that. I think that Jalen Phillips was kind of a no-brainer, even though they had to pay some money for it. I think it was kind of a no-brainer because you're losing him regardless, no matter what, right? At least with the Bradley Chubb situation, even if you against our like we don't want it, and we're looking at that contract, but they still could restructure him. It's still things to do it. They don't have to lose him. Now, do we want to? We think we're done with him, but from the franchise standpoint, they don't have to lose him. So I don't think they should. Go ahead.
Do you think, though, right? I'm not asking you how you feel, right? I know you want to move off of Bradley Chubb. What I'm asking you is, do you think he's going to be here, in your opinion?
You talk about
Bradley Chubb. No, I'm
Kelly?
talking about Bradley Chubb. No, I'm talking about Bradley Chubb.
You know what? Before the trade deadline, no, I was like 90%, 99% sure. I was basically 100% sure that he wasn't going to be here. But then I'm like, when I'm looking at the situation that they're in, and they fired Chris Grier mid-season, I'm like, there's a possibility. I think it's a low possibility, but I think it's still a possibility. Like it's still the Miami Dolphins. They still do things that we were like, bro, what are they doing? I wouldn't do that. So I can't take it off the table.
Let me ask you this: if he's not here, would you look back at the move and be like, what the fuck were they doing?
If he's not here?
If he's not here.
Yeah, I will. If he's not here, I would say, well, if it's confirmed, it was like a fifth, or I doubt if it was a fourth, but like a fifth. I don't see why you don't move off of him for like a fifth. Outside of, I guess ego, or because you gave up a first for him. So now you want your return to be similar, but that's the only logical reason I would. To me, it's not good enough. But
it's been reported though that the 49ers and Cowboys had a 5th round pick for Bradley Chubb.
Now it from what I heard, they had a deal that was in place, but I don't think, at least for the Cowboys, I don't think that was the first move. I think that was secondary if they couldn't get. You see what they did? They gave up a first for the D tackle Quinn Williams.
Quinn Williams. But remember, after now again, things that I've kind of heard, and I don't. To your point, Tom. I don't want to say it's 100% factual, but they went and got the linebacker from Cincinnati, Logan Wilson.
Well, they got him first. They had him first before anything. He was the first move that dropped.
Right, but I heard now again, they had that 5th round pick for Bradley Chubb. Wait, the Dolphins kind of informed them, no, it ain't happening. Now, hey, go get Logan Wilson.
No, I don't. I'm sorry. When I hear stuff like that, I don't believe them.
I hear, and that's why I said it's not factual, right? I'm not saying it's true.
Yeah,
I'm just saying that's what I heard.
Yeah, if we could confirm that, of course. I'm gonna be like, that makes no what. And outside of ego only, we gave up a first, so we not taking the 5th, bro. Things happen. He's a couple years or older. He's two seasons, 2 more injuries in. Like, no, things happen. So you're not, the value isn't there anymore. So, but that has to be confirmed for me. To me, see, I'm more like the person that I'm not surprised, because I'm looking at it like, I think they playing a long run, and I know us as fans, and I said this last show, I'm like, it's very, very, very unfair for us to ask our fan base to be patient, because this is going to take more of a patient approach. It's gonna be more prolonged. That's what I'm looking for, a prolonged approach, because listen, we're in a messed up situation, right? So I don't think they're in a rush to let Champ Kelly make decisions as if he's going to be here in the near future. I think they're playing it safe, and they're like, if it's not nothing that completely blow us away, then we're going to stay put, because to make it fair.
Yeah, and again, that's logic. That is logic, Tone. You're speaking with logic, right?
Yeah, you're right.
What I'm saying is, you can't be in 2 bad situations. This is where I'll give it to y'all. Chris Greer, if he was the one that we're just going to put the blame on draft picks, this, that, and the third, then he's missed a lot more than he's hit. What you can't have, Tone, is you missing draft picks and also your books being messed up, right? That's what you can't have, right? In a scenario where Miami is, where they have both, your draft picks are not hidden, they're not working out. And when I look at the cap and the money situation, it's messed up there too. I'll use the Jets as a perfect example.
Not if they cut them.
The Jets got well again. If you cut them, it would have been more beneficial.
If you cut them.
Well again,
if they would have traded them, it would have been more beneficial. But
you would have saved more money if you beneficial.
Right, only if the team wasn't asking for like a Jalen Phillips type deal, or y'all need to take on some of this money. You see, we got to take in all that in consideration too. See, we don't know,
but I'm not worried about the money this year. That money's already gone. You already paid him for half of his season anyway, plus his bonuses, whatever that was, or whatever.
Yeah, but even if you trade him, you still taking a cap hit too next year, even with a trade. So you don't want to pay money this year.
I think I would have took less. Even if you cut them, though, you're still taking a cap hit for next year anyway.
Well, you saving money for what you would potential
right, but
pay them, but you're still taking a cap here. Yeah,
you're still taking a cap hit. Plus, you would have had the capital. What I'm saying is, Tone, the Jets next year, right, will walk into next year with over $100 million in cap space, right? 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks. The following year, 2 more first-round picks, 2 more second-round picks. 3 more, right? Year. What I'm saying is they cleaned their books and got assets. The Miami, their books is messed up, and they don't have no assets. You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but look at you can't look at the assets that the Jets got though.
Well, what assets did they get?
First rounders and players.
Well,
so that's two different situations. You can't.
But this is what I'm talking about. I don't think, and we were talking a little bit about it backstage. I don't think when they say the Dolphins were listening to offers for, let's say, Waddle, I think that's a smokescreen. I think that's out there.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think they were.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I think the Jets were serious about trading Sauce Gardner. So when you're serious and other teams know you're serious, they're more willing to play ball. But if, again, I'll use the analogy, Tone, and just cover your ears. I'm sorry, but this is the part of the show where I'm going to talk to my you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you go to a bar or a club, right, and you know there's interest from a certain other individual, you're going to be more willing to put in a little bit more work. You see what I'm saying? Unless
on God, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But if
again,
if it's just I give you a look, you give me a look, but hey, it's really it is what it is.
It is what it
I'm
is.
not.
Yeah.
It just is what it is. If it happens, it's cool. But if not, it's still cool. That's what I'm saying the Dolphins did. Hey, well, listen.
Yeah,
it's a possibility, but I don't really want to do it. You see what I'm saying? That's why when I hear people say, well, look what the Jets got. Yeah, because they were willing to play ball. That's what happens. If you're not willing to play ball, I'm not, again, baseball, right? The only time you're going to hit a home run is if you swing. I don't think the Dolphins were swinging. I think the Dolphins were looking for balls. That's what hey, 4 balls, I'll just walk. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was.
Yeah, they look for walk.
But take off, Tone. You know what I'm saying? That's just, I don't want to get it caught up with, oh, look what the Jets got. And no, bro, we could have got, I'm not saying the exact same thing, but we could have got a lot more than what we got now.
Yeah, and when you say they weren't willing to play ball, I've always been under that mindset, which is why I'm not surprised. So yeah, I can't disagree or give you any pushback with that, because that's what I said. That's why I wasn't surprised they weren't moving, because I'm like, they already came out and said, "Hey, yo, you want Waddle? I want a first plus." Like, bro, when you tell me you want a first plus, right? That's under the person that I'm not willing to trade them unless you have to give me a Sauce Gardner type deal, right? And the market is the market. So seeing how the market has been going as of late, right? Receivers aren't getting no first rounders. They aren't. Conditional first is the best you could do. I mean, conditional second. Sorry, not even first. Conditional second is the best you can do, which means it's a third, but depending on how he produces, it could become a second. So if you start off the bidding at a first and then you add in plus, no, you're not serious. You mean I have to bring you 2 firsts or 1 and a third, 2 firsts, I'm sorry, 1 and a third, something of that nature. Okay, cool. I'm not willing to play ball like that, because I don't think Waddle is like that for me to come to you with a first and a third. That's just me being honest, my honest assessment on him. He's not like that for me to get a first and third. He has the potential to.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. If he's not worth a first and a third, fine. I'm with you. Is Jalen Waddle not worth a first?
No. If we're going to be 100% honest and take out my fandom, no, he's not.
Well, there you go. And there you go. But no. Yeah. But Denver reportedly, again, this is not. It's
offered the first. That's what,
they offered a first. So if you're sitting here, Tone, telling me he's not like that, right? In your opinion.
No. I ain't say he's not like that. I'm talking about the first and the third. But for the first, yes.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying.
If somebody bring you a first, you should listen to
that. And what I'm saying is they had that on the table. So why not, again, play hardball? You want a first and a third. Cool. They already told you no. You already got the first locked in. Now go, hey, give me a first and a fourth. Nah, I don't know. All right, cool. Well, let's just meet in the middle. Give me a first and a fifth and let's rock. And maybe they do that. But again, bro, they weren't willing to do it, Tone. And I'm sorry, bro. They were wrong in that assessment. They were wrong in that assessment.
I think that's where we agree. Because me as the fan, don't talk to me unless you start at a first. Because the fan of me want him, I don't want to move off of him, right? But if I'm talking based on the market and how the NFL would look at it, then I have to be honest and say, well, bro, we got Devontae Adams went for a conditional second. DK Metcalf, a conditional second or third, I don't remember, right? And there's one more else, someone else moved, but this has been the going rate for the wide receivers that's considered the number ones. So you can't come to me and tell me that you starting off with a first for Jalen Waddle. You know, so that's what I'm saying. Not me as a family, like, man, yes, tell him up first, because I don't plan on moving off him because he's still young. So I agree with you with that assessment as from the standpoint that they wasn't really willing to pay ball. They weren't. And you know what, Jess? I just noticed something in your intro, and when you answered the question, guess what? You didn't mention A-Chan name. And I was, Lewis was so mad about the untouchables. But I tell you one thing, I know one player, when them rumors came out, it was shut down. There wasn't any more rumors about that man no more. Now, Waddle, they had to have a sit down and tell Waddle, we're not trading you. But they still put it out there that it was a first and a third. But I thought it was very, very telling that they didn't have A-Chan on the market. See, Lou, you think I'm just doing this because I'm like, oh, I want to. No, I'm actually paying attention to them. And I'm like, even though as a fan, I'm a ride for Waddle regardless. But when I look at it and I say, I give my honest assessment, like when you ask me about my youth players, I'm going to talk all trash about it. But when it comes to drafting them to the Dolphins, then I'm like, wait, hold on, wait. Now now we got to be honest and be real about it, right? So when I get real about it, I'm like, it don't even seem like they willing to move off of A-Chan. It don't even seem like they're willing to move off of Waddle. You know, now me, if I was in that business, see, I'm like, no. I'm really trying to get a first and a third. Right. You know why? Because you point them out. If I get a first and a third, bro, you could find help in the third that can help you out with this team. So even if you replay, this is what when y'all rebuttal what it's worth. A first and a third, you could go back and get a Waddle in the first, right? You can. But you know what that third do? Help you out in the trenches.
1,000%.
You see, now you got two for the price of one. But not just. Go ahead.
And Tone, even if you wanted to move back up, again, the more ass you have, forget about the number, right?
Yeah.
You already have, how many thirds do we have already going in before the trade deadline? What was it, 2?
I think we have 3 now because Jaden Phillips.
Oh, okay. So we had 3. Let's say, to your point, you get a first and a third for one. Now you have 4 threes. You could package 2 of those threes and move up back into the second round, right? Or do something. Again, bro, no one is saying that we should have traded A-Chan. I don't want that to be the conversation. The conversation we should be having is, why were they not, like, again, at least put everybody out there. You don't know. Bro, if I would have told you, Tone Jess, before the trade deadline, that the New York Jets are going to trade Sauce Gardner for 2 first-round picks and a player. Mitchell. Bro, do you know Donnie Mitchell was a top 15 player in the first round 2 years ago?
The top 15 pick? He was he?
I believe he was a top 15 pick 2 years ago.
Wow.
That's what he was. They virtually gave up 3 first-rounders.
3 first-rounders, yeah.
So what I'm saying, Tone Jess, is right. How many times do we always hear it only takes one? It takes one stupid team to mess up. If the Dolphins are not willing to play ball, how can you know you can't be one of the teams to get one of those sucker teams if you're not willing?
Now he was a second rounder, Lou. He was 52nd overall.
Okay, well, cool. They got, if I told you, if they got 2 firsts and a second, what would you and Jess have told me before the trade deadline?
You done lost your mind. You have lost your rabbit mind.
Thank you.
I usually don't tweet other teams or Adam Schefter or none of that.
I seen you tweeted.
I tweet. Yeah. I say, who in the hell do they think he is? I was mind blown. I was there you go. Like for real.
There you go. We don't think he's
But
like that.
it takes
but you know,
one.
one team thought he was like that. So how do I know one team don't think A-Chain is like that? Because I can tell you one team that does think he's like that, the Miami Dolphins. So if the Miami Dolphins think like that, and again, coming into the season, who was the #1 fantasy player? Everybody wanted Devon A-Chain. So across the league, they're probably telling you there's value. And you mean to tell me you're making him untouchable? I just want to point out the last 2 games, that untouchable player, 67 yards, 65 yards. If you mean to tell me 67 yards a game is untouchable, all right, cool. I told y'all from the jump, I'm not in here to worry about feelings, make friends, or worry about the player's name in the back of the jersey. I'm here for the logo. And all right, cool. All right, cool. We kept all these players. All right, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
I think it is unjust, Tone Jess, that these players were at least not offered in trade packages. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you can see it from both. I see it from both sides, and I understand why we should put them up. See, like at least, like Lou, when you're presenting your argument, at least, right? At least you're making sense and saying, now we're not giving away for a bag of chips and some Skittles, right? Like these GMs on X were saying that made no sense, which is why it sounds like I was so opposed to getting rid of either one of them. No, I'm opposing what y'all willing to get rid of them for. That's what I was opposing, not whether or not we should move off of them. Now remember, so for when everyone listened to what I say, and when I preface all my statements before I even mentioned whether we should move off of them or not, I said Chris Greer had to go. Remember that. That was my one caveat. Chris Greer, had to go as well.
Had to go.
So once he left, everyone was on the table. Every single person was on. Outside of Patrick Paul, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, offensive line is very scarce nowadays, and it's difficult to come by. Good ones, at least. So I was like, maybe Patrick Paul, but A-Chan, Waddle, Zach Sealer, Jordan Brooks, Mika Fitzpatrick, you name them, Chubb, all of them. They were in. Even Kenny Grant and Chop Robinson, all of them was on the market. Here you go. They're on the shopping block. The trading block. Come get them. But the fact that it was mid-season, you don't know what you're gonna do. I was like, okay, cool. Let me step outside of my fandom, and so I won't be highly upset when they don't do nothing, and say, okay, let's see why wouldn't they do this, and how come they will make a move or wouldn't make a move. And I'm like, all right, I don't like it, but unfortunately, this is the terrible, terrible situation that we are in. And I'm not mad at anyone that's pissed off. Anyone, because right now I'm speaking logically. But as a fan, I'm like, I need y'all to get on the ball. Bring these players in, get the GM, do whatever you got to do, and let us see some change. Give us some hope at least. But hopium is a terrible drug. So it is what it is. This is what situation we're in, and unfortunately, we don't see, at least from my standpoint, I don't see a change in the near future to where it's on the positive side, to where we feel like we're doing something and we're moving, taking a step in the right direction. I don't see that yet.
Well, I just don't see it at all, especially here in the nearest future. The fact of the matter is, again, the books for the Miami Dolphins next year is terrible. And when I mean books, I'm talking about money-wise. They're
money-wise, the cap situation.
The draft picks are kind of, again, the first rounder looks good because, where we are now, we're picking, I believe, 4th or 3rd in draft order, I believe, 3rd or 4th. So, again, they're possibly a top 5. Whatever. But again, what general manager wants to come in here with the books being crazy, right? Not up to par, and the assets are And then who knows if you're forced with Tua another year?
We're
if
fourth
you're
right now,
with
Lou.
Mike McDaniel. Yeah, we're fourth. That's what I thought. I think so. Again, our top 5 pick, and that's fine. That's appealing, right? But everything else, right? Don't know about McDaniel's future. If you're forced with him for one more year, if you're forced with Tua, if your books are back, what general manager in that situation? Now, it's more appeasing if you have a top 5 pick, and again, you just traded Waddle for another first-round pick. And again, A-Chain is, again, we love him, but A-Chain got you a second, another third, and maybe a fourth. Cool, right? That's more appealing to a new general manager coming in. Oh, shit, I got 2 first rounds. I got 2 second rounds. I got 4 3s. I got 3 4s. You know, again, a general manager would be more willing. What general manager wants to come into a situation like Miami has when there's more questions than answers? Nah, bro, I'm sorry. There's just no direction, Tone. And I get what you're saying. And I'm yeah, we got to be patient. I get it, right? But, bro, the fan in me is like, bro, what are we doing? Like, what are we, like, what? Bro, the future, sometimes you got to be able to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And I'm sorry, the tunnel we're in now, it's pitch black. That tunnel looks like my screen. You see the black around the logo? That's what our tunnel looks like. There ain't no light at the end of the tunnel. And you mean to tell me we're keeping players around? Nah, bro, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Nope. And Tone,
yeah,
Jess, let me ask you this, right? Because Tone, I heard you bring it up the day after the trade deadline in the Twitter space. And I said I agreed with you there. I don't know if a lot of people that is listening to us tonight heard what you said. We had one move at the trade deadline. In your opinion, do you think Champ Kelly is your new general manager, or is he even going to get a fair shot at being the general manager of this team? Because, Tone, I'm going to be honest with you. I think they told him.
That's question number 2, man. You skipping. Look, he taking.
Well, damn. Hey, you know what?
Skipping ahead.
You know what? I'm just a veteran in the game, Tone. You know what I'm saying? I know how to keep
see it.
Mobile. You see what I'm saying? My bad. We'll get to that.
Don't let him steal your mojo. Yeah, you started already.
well, Jess, my bad, man. Jess, I'm a little bit rusty. I missed Monday's episode. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm a little bit rusty.
It's all right. We'll let it slide. I don't know about Tony, but I'm letting it slide.
I mean, you might well get into question number 2 now because you already started.
Okay, so I'm not gonna. We can go down the line, but we don't have to be like question answer. Just GM, QB, head coach, 3 people. If you're going one by one, what are we doing at each position in the future, or what would you like to do in the future? Yeah. Since Lou wants to go here, let's go here now.
There you go, Lou.
What are the 4 people you talking about, Jeff?
No, GM, quarterback, head coach. Where we go from here?
Where do you go from
here? Get rid of all of them.
So now you started with the GM. Now you can ask your question because you start with the GM.
Well, again, in the aspect of trade deadline, Tone, Jalen Phillips, and again, I think we all thought Jalen Phillips was a possibility, right? He's gone. Bradley Chubb was the other one. He didn't go nowhere. I'm just saying, it seemed like to me, the Dolphins told, maybe they didn't tell Champ Kelly. Let me not say that. I think the brass knows that, again, the collective told him what he could and could not do. I don't think Champ Kelly had full autonomy, Tone, to come out and make whatever trade he wanted to do. I think, there you go. I think, again, owner, Garfinkel, and the son-in-law, Stillman, however you want to say his name, I think basically quietly they're the ones pulling the strings, and I think they told Champ Kelly no. What do you think?
I think going in, I don't even think they had to tell him no. I think going in, he was already, or at least they should have moved this way, that he was already under the impression that if it's not a slam dunk a bona fide slam dunk, or Stephen Ross or Tom Garfinkel, unfortunately, themselves don't go to him and say, yeah, let's look into this. Let's see what we can get from this player. I don't think he was there to make any moves like that. I think he's just a placeholder. To me, this is what it seemed like, right? He's a placeholder right now. And they didn't want to make any rational decisions without knowing who their GM was going to be. Right, so that's why I'm like, it sucks. It's terrible. Like, listen, Lou, and I said this last time, so I said again. Well, I said this in Spaces. The situation that we're in now is completely terrible. Because, right, we'll talk about quarterback, GM, head coach. What we want to move from there. Let's start with the GM. What GM wants to come into this situation right now? Right?
No.
Right now.
No.
None. You're narrowing your search down to first timers for the most part. Because anyone else is not coming in here. They aren't. Unless you probably, and I don't even know if Reddick was a GM before him that seems desperate because he's been on ESPN for over 10 years looking for a job. Right? So outside of Reddick, Louis Reddick, or Riddick, or however you say his name, you're looking for first timers, and it's okay because most GMs, when you bring them in, for the most part, they're gonna be first timers. But you're not gonna get the ones that are a part of a well-run organization. Like if you want to pull somebody from the Eagles, maybe the Chargers, maybe the Kansas City Chiefs, like you're not going to get people that the San Francisco 49ers. They're not going to get people. Maybe the Rams. No, they're not coming here because they're looking at this from the outside looking in like, why would I want to go into that kind of craziness? That is a whole bunch of mess that had to be cleaned up when there could be other positions that I'll rather wait for. Remember, Ben Johnson was asked multiple times, and he chose to stay in Detroit as an offensive coordinator until the right job presented itself. Because he was in that type of environment. So a assistant GM or someone in the front office in a place like Detroit somewhere, they're not going to be eager to leave that situation to come to this, which is like we're in talks to be one of the worst ran franchises. Who are you going to talk about? Cleveland, the Jets, Dolphins, maybe Las Vegas Rams.
The Saints.
Like,
yeah.
We top 5 and worst ran organization. Like we top 5 in the draft league. So what?
For sure.
It's like no one want to. So that's terrible. So that's why I can't give too much pushback. Not even that much. I got to get a bare minimum pushback when people say, "Hey man, bring the GM and do all this," because I understand how messed up a situation we're in. So what are we gonna do with the GM?
Nothing.
So now you're in a conundrum, right, Lou? Because you bringing someone new right now, you're limited in your options. You're already limited in your options, right? Because you have 2 options now. Let's just put that in the quarterback situation. Let's just tie the GM in the quarterback situation to go. You're gonna bring in a GM. The first thing he has to do for the most important position, this could be in sports, not only football, but probably in sports. He's in a pickle. Either I bench him, play him out, or cut him, and now I'm in cap hell, or I have a divided locker room, or I have a disgruntled player that still can divide the locker room. Those are the 3 options you got just dealing with the quarterback alone.
That's a fact.
You get what I'm saying? So for the people that want to cut him, okay, you cut him. Now you put your new GM in cap hell. And I know they say, well, they did that in Denver, but that GM was already there. He made the decision to do that for himself. He was on the outside looking in and say, oh, God, dog, that's when I'm walking into the situation. That's what we asking the GM to do for our team. So now that's one situation. And now let's put it to the head coach. You have now, if you stay with the quarterback, why are you forcing that quarterback on your head coach. And now, if you don't want to force your quarterback on the head coach, that means you have to stay with the coach that you got. So now let's add that into the GM. Now, why would you want to force a quarterback and a head coach on a new GM? You see how messed up a situation we're in? No matter what way we go, whichever direction we decide to go, it's a messed up situation right now. The only way that you could even make it to where it's like, okay, let's come into this situation that's better suitable, and you can open up, more people might want to come in for that if you ride it out and they fail 2 years in a row. Right? So as of now guess who's screwed on that one? The fans. Now we have to watch this play out. Now we basically have to give up on one season. Now, Lou, me, you know what I'm saying? Possibly Jess, if she wants to, right? But me and you have been talking about this since the beginning of this year. We already got our trips planned out that we want to go to next year. We're going to Denver. We're going to Las Vegas. We're going to Green Bay. And we're going to, what's the last one? Denver, Las Vegas, and Minnesota.
Minnesota, yeah.
Now, who you think I'm going to be more inclined to go when with the way it is now, or if we had at least something for me to look forward to?
Yeah, if you have something to look forward to, absolutely.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, she asking. Now I want your opinion. Like, just with all that being said, now what do you think? What do you think we go from, Lou? What direction do we go? Which one you think is the best course of action?
Well, what I think is the best course of action is getting rid of everybody. And when I mean everybody, again, Greer's already gone. McDaniel got to go. Weaver got to go. But again, this has been my whole argument, Tone, and everybody says, well, look at Lou. He's the Greer near. No, what I've been trying to tell y'all is where we are now, what Tony just explained. Unless Garfinkel is gone, unless Brandon Shore's gone, unless Stephen Ross gets out of his own way, nothing is changing, bro. You see what I'm saying? Nothing is changing. And this is what I've been trying to fight against. I'm not saying Greer was the best. What I'm saying is Greer's not the worst, right? This situation, Tone, what you just laid out, again, you're asking me, where do we go from here? Who knows?
It's a lose-lose situation. A lose-lose situation.
That's a fact. Tone, and what you heard me say it all the time. I like to put myself in these situations. Everything that you laid out, Tone, if I'm a general manager, up and coming, or even one that has been in the game for years, if I'm looking at it the way Tony just explained it, Miami is the last place I want to go.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So, like, when you're asking where do we go from here, Tone? Again, bro, I think it gets worse before it gets better. You see what I'm saying? I think, Tone, we might have to reevaluate some of these trips next season. You know what I'm saying? That's where. Hey, chat,
God!
Everybody in the chat. I just want you to know, Tone the other day had a picture on the screen of Sam Cook. Change is coming. Well, I think that change is coming in the road trip plans next season. That's where the change is coming.
Oh my gosh.
Nah, Tone, Jess, it's bad, bro. We got to understand we're fans, right? And we love this team. We're invested in this team. We have a podcast about this team. We talk about this team on a day-to-day basis. There it is. Change is coming. We should add some words to that, to the road trip. That's where
to
it's
the
coming.
road trip, to the Blitz pickup road trips.
Yeah, that's when the change is coming. What I'm saying is, bro, there is no direction. We have no leadership. You see what I'm saying? And it feels off. And this is what I've been fighting against. And no one wanted to hear it. And it's cool. But now when it plays out, I don't want to hear, hey, Tone, we better win on Sunday. The boogeyman is out of the building. That's what I'm saying. we better win on Sunday.
Wow.
Is all I'm saying. Bro, who knows, Tone? Who do we go from here, bro? Like, we don't go nowhere. We see where it goes, but I think ultimately, I think it gets worse before it gets better. Yep. That's what I think.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, it's like how I wanted it to happen. Get rid of all of them at the same time. Like we could have, a back and forth and understand or try to understand where they're coming from. But I'm like, what was my stance from the beginning, Lou? No. Let all of them ride it out to the end. Don't save Tua. Don't save Mike McDaniel. Do not save Chris Greer. Y'all created this. Y'all gonna deal with this. Y'all on borrowed time, but I'm not making no one else come in and deal with y'all downfalls. No, I'm not having them clean up y'all mess. This is a bunch of crap for the lack of a better word. Right? And I don't get it. I don't like it. I see no light at the end of the tunnel. None. Right? We can't tank. What are we tanking for? We're gonna bring in a new quarterback? Like let's be what are we gonna take? Are we gonna get that bona fide corner? Or what are we like?
Well, this is the situation, Tone, with the quarterback. You just brought it up. I do think, and I again, before I even start, Tone, Jess, if the Dolphins stay where it is, let's say they pick 4 in the NFL draft, do you think that's a quarterback?
Probably. Now I wouldn't, because outside of, and I'm not. I know you're a big fan of Mendoza. Mm-hmm. But I think outside of Mendoza, you don't have no one that's really like that, that to say that
right.
blowing the doors off people and that's standing out. So my safest issue is get that quarterback, trade down and get him lower in the first round, or maybe in the second round. But yeah, I think if it's top 4, it should be quarterback. I don't know if it is, Lou, but it should be quarterback. Yes.
Okay, and Jess, I'm sure you have the similar
Simpson.
Opinion, correct?
I see.
Correct.
Okay, so this goes, and excuse me if I'm jumping maybe to a next topic or whatever, but you asked about 3 guys. Me and Tone just talked about the general manager. Let's move to the quarterback.
Okay.
If that first
you can put all of them together now, Lou. I did. Yeah. Just same way.
Okay, all right.
You good. Yeah.
Okay. Well, now let's go to the quarterback then, Tone, Jess. If that top pick is a quarterback, listen to what Tone just said 10 minutes ago. We know after 6 years of Tua, he's a sensitive player. Things rub him the wrong way. If your draft pick is a quarterback, to Tone's point, if Tua is back next season, they don't want to take the dead cap hit or the cap hit or whatever. And again, we all know the real out is in 2027. That would mean Tua would be here with a rookie quarterback in the building. Now, Tone, this is a better question for you because you had season tickets. You've been to a lot of games. I just want to point out, we've had Skylar Thompson as the backup. And when Tua has messed up, people in that stadium have chanted for Skylar Thompson.
Yeah.
We have had people ask for Jacoby Brissett. We've had people ask for Josh Rosen. We've had every backup we've had.
When we brought in Teddy Bridgewater, everyone was saying, "Oh, he needs to compete for the starting job."
There you go.
Yes,
there you go.
Yes, we did. Teddy,
now, Tone, we're talking about Teddy Bridgewater and Skylar Thompson. Tone, those are the names we're mentioning. Imagine what
Zach Wilson this year and Quinn Ewers this year.
People at Tone, you took the words right out of my mouth. People are asking for Zach Wilson and Quinn Ewers. Imagine, Tone and Jess, you draft a top 5 quarterback in this league, and in game 1, Tua Tagovailoa throws a first quarter interception.
Oh, the boo birds coming out, get him. Oh my God.
They booing, they screaming, they hollering. Yeah. There's questions to McDaniel or whoever the new head coach is. There are questions to the general manager of when they're playing the rookie. This, that, and the third. You think that's healthy for a locker room?
Of course
you think
not.
Tua would like that situation?
Mm-mm.
You think that rookie quarterback in his development likes to answer those questions? and has to deal with that.
Nope.
But this situation, you want me to believe this situation is getting better? So again, that's the scenario of Tua being in the building. Now, Tony just told you again, now 11 minutes ago, what happens if you release Tua or you cut Tua? Yeah, cool. You got the quarterback out of there. You got your rookie quarterback playing. But guess what? Tua's not playing for the Dolphins. But you know what he is? He's $46 million on that cap.
99.
Well, that's dead cap. He's 99 on the dead cap.
Oh, yeah, okay. You
on the cap though, he's $46 million. $46 million. Now, what you think, right? You paying a player $46 million to not even be on your roster? Again, that goes to Tony's point. What general manager, what head coach, who wants to deal with that?
No one.
Tone is bad all around. But guess what? And this goes back to my earlier point. Guess what we do have? We still have $30 million on the roster with Jalen Waddle. Now is Jalen Waddle helping? Is that $30 million with Jalen Waddle next year helping this team win? Now, Devon A-Chain, that is going. Now, again, in that scenario, right, with the money looking bad, this, that, and the third. Now, Devon A-Chain is entering his last year. Now, if me, Tone, Jess, all the fan base knows it's a dumpster fire and a bad scenario to be in here in Miami. You think Devon A-Chain wants to spend another 3-4 years in this hellhole? If he has an opportunity not to sign a contract for Miami and get his happy ass up out of here?
I know he's trying to go to a contender.
Well, there you go. But again, you gave him that right because he should have been on the trade block. That's what he should have been. And again, not trading him, but you should have been more willing to trade him because Tone just told you earlier today, well, there's one name, and cool. It was the wrong decision. And I love Devon A-Chain, but long before Devon A-Chain was a member of the Miami Dolphins, guess what team I love? The Miami Dolphins. When A-Chain is long gone, whether he plays here for 15 years, when he's gone, Tone, Jess, you know the team I'm going to love? The Miami Dolphins. I'm in business to do what's best for the Miami Dolphins. I believe Tone, Jess, the producer in the back, a lot of people we interact with on a day-to-day basis, I believe they have the best interest of the Miami Dolphins. The problem I have is it seems like the people running the Miami Dolphins don't have the best interest of the Miami Dolphins. That's what it seems like to me. So nothing is adding up, Tone, Jess. Everything we do, every conversation we have, whether it's general manager, head coach, player, what should we do, this, that, and third, nothing matches. I've been out in the city with Tone. I know how he is, right? I've seen pictures of Jess when she steps out in the city. I don't see Jess wearing a purple shirt, yellow pants, one green shoe, one red shoe, looking a hot mess out in the street. I know Tone and me, when we stepped outside, we didn't look a hot mess. But the Dolphin organization, in every step they make, bro, it's nothing matches. It's peanut butter, no jelly. You got a hot dog, but you mean to tell me when I show up at Tony's tailgates, there ain't no mustard and ketchup? Like, what we doing? It's a mess, Tone, Jess. It's a mess. But that's my scenario with the quarterback. Bro, whether he's off this team, it's bad for the Dolphins. If he's on this team, it's even worse for the Dolphins. So, again, just another scenario, Tone and Jeff, where it's a complete mess, bro.
Yeah. And now what about the quarterback, Lou? I mean, not quarterback. I'm sorry. What about the head coach? Because
well, then again, it's the same thing we brought up with the general manager, Tone. If I'm a head coach, now I'm gonna put myself back in those shoes. If I'm a John Harbaugh, and let's say Baltimore and me mutually part ways to go. I've been in an organization where all I've known is winning, bro. For 18 years, that's all I've known is winning. You think John Harbaugh looks at Miami as an attractive destination?
Heck no.
Mike Tomlin, the hell, I see people, the John Gruden, this, that, or cool. None of those guys will come here because it's a dumpster fire. You know what you would get? The defensive coordinator out of the Rams, Chris Shula. You know what he is? He's Mike McDaniel. He's Brian Flores. He's Adam Gase. He's a first-time yes
he's
man.
Family, man.
He yeah, he's family. Cool. Yeah, well, see, Tone's being brainwashed. I gotta keep coming back to these shows, Jess, because I missed one show and Tone out here sounding like Batman and other people. Now he's talking about power of friendship and family. Where's the Tone I know, Jess?
Nah.
What are we doing here? Tone out here talking about family, dog.
I was being sarcastic.
Bro, it's a bunch of yes men coming in here, Tone. That's what's coming in here as a head coach. You either keeping McDaniel for one more year, or the next yes man will be coming in here.
I think, hey, no lies told, man. No, none at all. And so Lou, it sounds like what we running the back with Mike McDaniel then?
I'm not saying I would. I'm saying again, Tom, I'm willing to fire everybody, but bro, listen. For the people that have listened to me over the years, when they told me, and this is going back when he was in Houston and he was a top 5 quarterback in this league, when they said move Tua for Deshaun Watson, cool. That's an upgrade to me. Go get it. Tom Brady, cool. Lamar Jackson, cool. Right? When you tell me, oh, I'm getting rid of Tua for Trevor Lawrence, I would say no, because what? Trevor Lawrence is trash. I'm not trying to move off of trash to go get trash. Right? So with that being said, Tone, it's like, yeah, Mike McDaniel might not be good enough. And if you're telling me John Harbaugh's walking in here, Mike McDaniel see a piece, I'm throwing up the Tyreek Hill. I'm chugging the deuce, to use a Chris Brown take. You like how I did that, Jess? Chugging the deuce. The deuces, right?
Deuces.
We're putting the deuces up. That's what it is, right? But if you're telling me we're getting rid of Mike McDaniel for Chris Shula, bro, what are we talking? I don't know who the hell Chris Shula is. I know he's part of the family of a dude that I want to rip the statue from outside Hard Rock Stadium. That's what I know.
No, we're not taking away to Don Shula. You mean Dan Marino?
I take both of them at this point. I think everybody need to go from that building. Start ripping names off the hall, off the inside the stadium. Rip all them shits off. What I'm saying, hey Tone, I gotta be in my bag tonight. I missed Monday, Tone. Yeah, let me get my shit off, Tone. You know what I'm saying?
Take all that shit down.
Let me get my shit off. What I'm saying is, Tone, dog. Like at that point, if you're telling me get rid of Mike McDaniel for an upgrade, I'm with it. If you're telling me you're getting rid of Mike McDaniel for an unknown, well, nah, just give me the unknown, or just give me the known already. I know what Mike McDaniel is. Mm-hmm. Now, I could be crazy, Tone. That's just my assessment. I don't know where you lie in that, but that's just where I'm at.
No, it makes sense because, look, again, the same thing with the GM. What coach is going to come in and want to deal with that? None. Like walking in the building. That's why I laid out. I put it all and tied them all together. Let's start with the GM. Who wants to come and deal with it? These are the decisions he have to make. Either stick with Tua or don't. Now you stuck with a quarterback that you probably don't want. You're forced with a quarterback. Now if you stick with Tua, how many coaches want to come in here and deal with Tua? Last time I checked, the reason that Dominic Tavero brought that up. The last time I checked, the reason Mike McDaniel got the game is because most of the candidates said no to Tua. You know, and they found someone that was willing to say yes to Tua. Lewis, remember what I said? I say now, isn't it making a little bit more sense why they had to tell Chris Greer to pump his brakes because the candidate that he probably was willing to bring in was saying no to Tua. So Stephen Ross, Tom Gruffy, hold on, wait, chill. Patience. And now you got someone to come in. See, this is that, what you call that? This is that misdirection, right? Fool's gold. It's, hold on. Take a look at this Mike McDaniel fella, because I know you willing to move on, and I know you have candidates, but those candidates, they're saying no to Tua. But take a look at this fella. This fella say he can make Tua look good. That makes you look good, right? That makes Chris Gritter. Hey, think about how good you would look as a GM and how we could prove that we were right and not Brian Flores if this guy comes in and we win with Tua. No one is complaining about you picking him 6th overall, are they? Oh no, we got him 5th overall, right? 5th overall, are they? Nope. That was a business move. That one they was pulling the wool over his eyes. That makes sense. Like I told everyone, I say, y'all think he did that just because of Tua? Y'all crazy. Y'all don't know this collective yet. He didn't make Tua look good. He made the front office look good. All of them benefited from him. Oh, you mean you're gonna make our pick look good and make us not look incompetent? Sign me up. Now you get this, you get the rumblings and the words coming out of, hey, they like Mike McDaniel way more than they like any other candidate they had or coach they had in here. He's getting to talk over Chris Greer. They value his opinion highly. Some things that they have difference of opinions on, they leaning towards Mike McDaniel's side. Yeah, because he don't make them look like buffoons. He make them look like they knew what they were talking about. Man, let's not act like 2022 and 2023, they were talking about how important Tua was to this team. How much greater this team look when he's behind the helms and how terrible they look without him. Let's not act like they want to talk about the value of Tua and how he got keyhole accuracy and he could play some football like none other. Like, come on, bro. We're not gonna forget this thing. At one point, they was talking about Tua like he was really one of those. They had him in the MVP conversations, parts of the seasons. See, we tend to forget this because we hate. Like, we don't like Tua. I don't. Because the reason I want to move off him is for the actual playing, the actual real reasons that affect the game. But we can't forget how they was what you call that? Night in damn, I forgot the word, whatever. Making Mike McDaniel look like a genius, right? Stamping. They were stamping him as a genius already. Man, look how innovative this offense is. Look at how he got Tua looking. Tua looking like an MVP candidate. Man, we was 2 games away from having the #1 overall seed. You know you're doing something when your team has a nickname. Greatest show on surf. Yeah. That's why they hired him. So now all of a sudden we're in this situation and you got a coach that they not going to want to come deal with Tua. Only Mike McDaniel wanted to come deal with Tua. But for the most part, those candidates were saying no to Tua. We see Brian Daboll, who coached him at Alabama. He chose Daniel Jones over him, bro. I'm trying to figure this out. Game Boy, let me give you, because you know you my nemesis, so let me give you some game. When people start speaking the truth, it doesn't, just because you disagree with it, you don't have to say narratives. See, because if you want to say he didn't do that for Skylar Thompson, Tua didn't look like that under Mike Brian Flores. Why he didn't look like that under Brian Flores? Why did Ryan Fitzpatrick look better under Brian Flores? See, we got to keep it 100.
That's not even the right argument, though, Tone. I mean,
it is the right argument, because if you said it's a narrative that he didn't make Skylar Thompson.
Well, again, but they're just trying to take a shot. I'm not saying you're wrong. Maybe I shouldn't have said that's the wrong narrative or the wrong way to go back at Game Boy. Let me try to, because again, you're right? What you said was right. Well, because what he's really doing, Tony, he's trying to take a shot at Mike McDaniel. Why didn't he do that with Skylar Thompson?
I know.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Mike McDaniel is not that one, but John Harbaugh's that one. John Harbaugh's a good coach. Now, again, Thursday night, the Baltimore Ravens, and John Harbaugh's been the coach for all of those games, is 72-23 with Lamar Jackson. That's what he is. 72-23. Now, that same coach is 5-17 without Lamar Jackson. So why didn't that coach do it with any of those backup quarterbacks?
Yeah, and I was just mainly sticking to, because he was making it, trying to seem, you know how he is. He's a Tua fan, but he's making it seem like it's Tua, not Mike McDaniel. So I just wanted to point out, well, we saw Tua without him, and we also saw him with him.
And that's the point, right? Players make coaches look good. We have this. The narrative is player or coaches are ones that's supposed to make players look good, and I'm not saying they're not, but if in a like, let's say a pie chart or a scale or whatever, no, the player is the one that save head coach's job.
Yes, making plays.
The players are the right. What I'm saying is, we all look at John Harbaugh and we're like, man, he is a great head coach. Yeah, when he has Lamar Jackson. All I know, though, when John Harbaugh does not have Lamar Jackson, he's 5-17. That's a losing record, is what I'm saying. So as much as John Harbaugh does for the Baltimore Ravens, Lamar Jackson does more. Lamar Jackson can mask flaws from John Harbaugh. And to your point, in 2022, 2023, there was flaws with Mike McDaniel, but Tua was kind of masking them a little bit.
Yeah, you need your starting quarterback. Right. Like it don't matter. Like
Tua can't mask them no more. Right.
Your quarterback has to be able to do something, right? Which is I just every coach they need their starting quarterback. I see Deuce, and he say that's Cap. He did it with Flacco as well. Yes, Flacco was what they drafted him. He was a first round quarterback.
Right. What I'm saying, right.
With an amazing defense. An amazing defense.
And again, but see, people are missing the point. That's not what we're talking about. The point was, Game Boy brought up Skylar Thompson, a backup quarterback. Don't name me Joe Flacco that was a starter.
A first round draft pick, yeah.
Right. That's what we're saying. Yeah,
because Joe Flacco looked really good over there with Zach Taylor too.
Thank you. Like, what are we talking about, bro? People just be talking, bro.
So all I would say is, at the end of the day, if we're gonna like the coaches, most of these coaches, they said no to Tua. Like most of these coaches, they said no to Tua. And if you're trying to bring in a new head coach right now, you're trying to bring in someone different. Guess what? What you gonna tell them? I'm gonna get rid of Tua. Okay, now you got 90 something million dead cap and whatever it is on the actual cap. What coach want to deal with that? That now you're losing a coach and GM. All because of the situation you're in with your quarterback. You know? So at the end of the day is to me, I would say if I'm picking a direction that I think is the right one, is you have to let Mike McDaniel ride it out with Tua. Get rid of them, both of them next year. It's very tough to deal with that. But
you saying after next year?
After next year, yeah, get rid of him after this year. Yeah. My bad. Not doing.
So after this season, going into 2026, you're saying get rid of both of them?
No. After next year.
After 2026. Okay, all right, cool.
2027 with the out. With the out, that's where your out is. Because if you don't do that, and that's why I say I can't ask our fan base to be patient. I can't. I'm not even going to act like that's fair for this fan base. Unfortunately, I've been a fan for this team 41 years, and I understand that patience is of the essence. And there is, if you don't, you're putting the GM in a messed up situation, and I don't think you don't put yourself in the best situation to get the best qualified candidate, right? You might find some candidates. I'm not saying you can't, right? But you don't put yourself in a position to get the best qualified candidate, because the best qualified candidate is not coming in here dealing with that turmoil. No, he has to fix all of this. He's not dealing with this, right? Now you might find a diamond in the rough, and cool, someone that's willing to deal with that, and that'll be fine too. But it doesn't. It's like we're in a lose-lose situation. Like, the only positive that I can say that I understand for getting rid of Chris Greer now is, like, I don't want that guy making another decision for my franchise. Because if you were here last episode, right, I just broke down all of his moves. I didn't just stop at drop picks. I went through the free agents that he brought in as well. Now, some of the names, they sound good, but the results were terrible. Some of the results individually were good, but overall team wasn't good. It was terrible. It's cool. They say, nah, Tone, I can't ride with that. Flores came in and signed Fitzpatrick and turned it around quicker. A good coach can make a difference. This is the problem when you have people that don't listen. You just said Flores came in and brought in a quarterback. Flores had, when he brought in Ryan Fitzpatrick, they were bringing in a brand new rookie. They didn't have a guy on there that they was paying $212 million with $163 guaranteed. That was going to destroy the cap. Like, miss me with that. He was coming off injury, so you could have set him because of this and let him get healthy, let him learn. That was an ideal situation for drafting a high quarterback that you want to sit and learn. It was ideal because he was coming off injury and he was young. So you got that rookie contract. You're not worried about, you don't have $46 million sitting on your cap and saying go get another quarterback to do that. You don't. Now there's options out there to where you can compete, but y'all just want mediocrity. I'm sorry, no. You're trying to build it the right one. Trying to build it the right way. And that's the problem with y'all. I'll be looking, I'm like, this is why Lewis be going off. Y'all just be saying stuff. Yeah. It's good when your situation is already fixed and all you got to do is maintain it. All you have to do is maintain it. Another one that just said, Broncos rebuilt that roster in 2 years. Two things that you failed to realize. That GM was already there. He wasn't a new GM just coming in and take a new job. Second of all, what have they won? When they win something, then you can say that. And you still missed me with the first part. The GM was already in place. So he made that decision to understand what direction he wanted to go. So you already had your GM in place. We don't have a GM in place. That's what happened when you have half-ass arguments. That is exactly what happened. They didn't come into a situation where, oh man, you got to get rid of your quarterback. No, they had Russell over there. They were like, man, that's crazy. But that's the problem. This is the problem. This is why, yeah, I don't waste my time arguing with those kind of things. It's like, yeah, just turn on Madden and yeah, go ahead, Matt, you're gonna put him in, make it all work. Yeah, okay, cool. One situation in the history of the NFL. No, this is a messed up situation that they have to find. They have to find the right situation. They have to find the right situation. Like it's easy to say, oh yeah. We all said that when we wanted to move off of Tua, we all said the same thing. Hey, the Broncos did it. Why can't we? That's the fan in us talking. That's the fan in us talking. But did you realize that they didn't fire their GM midway through, and then the GM that was coming in had to make that decision? That's not the same situation. So the GM that they had was already, he was selected. He was there. Okay, cool. So he was able to make good decisions and make his decisions. Right now, this if you try to get a GM right now, he's already having to make decisions with something that he didn't even create. He didn't create. That's why I'm like, bro, why it out another year maybe? I don't think they're gonna go with Champ Kelly. Even if they do bring in a GM, I'm not even, be honest with you. If they bring in a GM, it's not as worse as if they bring in a coach right now, because that GM be like, hey man, listen, I'm just here. They hired me. We already know the situation, and we'll move off of these guys next year. That's when my tenure starts. But I want to be able to start already bringing in my players, and that's including a quarterback. You know, he could make that decision if you want. So I'm not really mad. I'm just saying, what competent GM, what highly touted GM going to want to come into that situation when he could go to another situation that doesn't have these problems? You don't want to be put in that situation. Now you got a head coach that, why would you want to come in here when there are going to be a lot of openings for head coaches? See, the argument for GM is you could get away with that. But when it comes to head coaches, there's openings for head coaches every year, multiple ones. So you're not going to be able to have to pick a litter. You're going to be, like to Louis' point earlier, this is going to be the last place you want to come because you don't want to deal with that. Everyone, when they present their argument, you present your argument as if people wants to come and deal with that. What person on the outside looking in be like, bad contracts, terrible cap hit, problems at quarterback, no GM? That's the place I want to go. That is the place I want to go. Man, listen, you got coaches stand at their position because they don't want to take bad coaching jobs. You think they're gonna want to come here now? Nah. Them coaches now, they are waiting for the right situation. Keegan, that's where you're wrong. Ben Johnson picked where he wanted to go. He turned down a job two years back to back. 2 years back to back. Turned it down. Kellen Moore did too. Y'all forgot Kellen Moore turned down jobs back to back too. He decided to stay in Buffalo. He's in Dallas. He's in Dallas now. Yeah, Dallas now. Who else? It was another GM. Like these coaches and coordinators, they're standing in good situations now until they find the right one. They like, wait, hold on. Let me reconsider that. How much did Dallas pay? What's the head coach for the Commanders?
Dan
Dallas
Quinn.
They paid him very well to stay in Dallas for 3 seasons after he was 3 straight seasons. He was up for head coach, the number 1 candidate for head coach. They paid. Nah, we're gonna pay you good. Stay here, my brother. Stay here. Stay here, my brother. Right? Because they're gonna wait for the right opportunity. So that's why you don't make decisions off impulse. I'm looking at all of the chats and I see everyone making decisions based off impulse because they want to win now. They want to change now. We have to do this right now. Well, if you want to, you're supposed to always want to put your team and your franchise in the best situation to succeed. And sometimes it takes patience. But that's that's a very unpopular statement right there and stance to have because most of the people have been waiting for a long time. But at the end of the day, I don't get blinded. I really don't. It's like, yeah, you're gonna settle for someone that's willing to take. Like it's different between bringing in someone that highly touted and say, okay, he's willing to have something to work with. Then there's someone to be like, well, man, I'm just trying to get my first opportunity. Hey, man, just give me an opportunity. I got it. But, nah, I'm not. I'm me personally. No, I'm not just for the sake of things, just bringing someone in and hoping. Because I guess y'all think it's under the impression that you're just going to bring him in for 1 year. Oh, that didn't work. All right, new GM. No, that's not how that works. No, that's not how it works. So, one thing I do learn about the more I interact, well, I already knew. I'm sorry, being around the city, that is a lot of Dolphin fans. They don't understand logic. They don't understand the business side. They don't understand the football side. They're just fans. They just like the sport. They just hope for the best and they just wish for the best. And every time I go out, oh, my team, they got to win. My team, they're going to win. Oh, just bring somebody in that can win right now. But you don't really understand the nuances, the ins and outs of sports and running a franchise. And sometimes you got to be patient. You have to wait for that right guy. You can't just go and bring someone else just because there's an open and a vacant position. A lot of our fans don't understand that. You have a lot of fans that was really, really pissed off that Jalen Phillips left, and they was calling him beast, and they was calling him a freak of nature. And I'm like, did y'all put on the film and watch that freak of nature? Get ran through, missed tackles, missed sack. He could have single-handedly won us the game against the Chargers, but guess what he did? Didn't complete the sack. I really, yeah, I get it, but the more and more you understand and you look at it, you be like, okay, it's just fans talking. You're never gonna win that way. Last time I checked, that's how they've been moving for the past 25 years. Oh, got rid of bringing this person because he's available, instead of identifying someone that's probably been grooming themselves to be successful, and take your time and grab that right guy. The first thing you want to do is you want to get somebody that can identify a quarterback. You get a guy that identify a quarterback. Now you're bringing a young guy in a terrible situation because you're gonna have a quarterback either on here that's disgruntled. We already have turmoil in the locker room right now. It's already a divided locker room. But I guess it's okay to bring in another divided locker room. Yeah, because we're fans. We just want to see people win. See, you want to know what happened when you bring in something just because it's available? You end up with Jake Long. Great tackle, but we didn't even have a quarterback in position. Matt Ryan was right there. But he was the best tackle on the board. Can't miss. Yeah, but now what? Now you got him. Now what? What do you do? No. What you do is you go out you assess the situation and you say, hey, you know what? This might be the best course of action. And I guarantee you, the best course of action is never going to be the most popular decision. It will never be. This is a very messed up, very, very, very messed up situation that we're in. But hey, we got the trench babies that think if you just build the offensive line without a quarterback, we could win. You got people that just want to bring in a GM just because. Well, I'm not bringing in any GM or any head coach. Nah, that it's crazy. I honestly think next year. I wish. I wish they. I don't know if they're gonna do it, but if they run it back with both of them, it might be even worse. Honestly, it might be worse. That's kind of hold on. No, my bad. I don't know how that disappeared like that. I don't know. That whole chat disappeared on me for a second. But yeah, I mean, shit. It's no matter which way you turn, it's not gonna be an easy decision. It's not gonna be a decision whichever way you turn. But what they got, I know what they do have to do. They have to make a decision on what is the course of action and not just move off impulse. They have to have a plan. And unfortunately, unless Stephen Ross is willing to sell the team, I don't trust him to make a decision. Whether you kept Chris Greer or fired Chris Greer, you still got Stephen Ross there, and you have to. That's why I'm like, you gotta the same way I think they wanted for the draft kit. Someone should have to come in here and blow the doors off him and say, "No, we have to bring that guy in. That guy know what he's talking about." Running back Dolphins. That's some nasty work. Heck. If he move off of everyone, that's cool. If he move off, I'm talking about every single body. That's cool because at the end of the day, you cleaning a whole house. Cleaning the whole house. That's the only course of action. Heck nah. Not until 2028. 10 for 2 years. Nah, we ain't doing that. Ross is the best owner you can ask for. He spends money and stay out of the way. He does spend money, but he don't stay out of the way. That's kind of the problem. Dolphins got a plan. Whoop they do. Be patient to 2028. 2027 is the only hope. 2027, I think we'll be in a better situation in 2027 because you can move off McDaniel tour and I think you eliminate most of the problems. Which is why I'm not really too opposing. I'm not opposed to bringing in a GM and say, "Hey, man, listen, bring these guys in." Because you got some guys, like especially at quarterback, you got some guys that'll come in and be like, "Hey, man, listen, I know I'm him and can understand." But that is, Ali said, "I agree. 2027 would be better. It would. But that's our only hope." But that's it, man. Lou, you got anything else for us, man?
No. I'm good.
2027. Hey, you still think they're getting off of tour next year, Lou? No matter what, even though they fired Greer.
I would.
You would. You think they? What do you think they would?
I mean, at this point, I don't know. I think to your point, if Mike McDaniel comes back, I think Tua will be here. I think if Mike McDaniel's gone, I think there's a strong possibility that the organization, again, I don't think a lot of coaches value Tua in that aspect.
They
So
don't.
it all depends what the organization does with Mike McDaniel. To your point, if Mike McDaniel's here next year, I think Tua's here. If Mike McDaniel's gone, I think Tua's gone. So
that's the only way. That's the only way I'll be willing to take that the hit for that Tua contract. I mean, you got to get rid of Mike McDaniel too. See, I know y'all want Mike McDaniel to get his own quarterback. But man, you can't put us in this situation and say running back with this guy, man. Get rid of him, Tua, and and now listen, you don't hold that over their heads, but nah, it still be an unfortunate situation for the coach and the coach, the quarterback and the GM. It'll be an unfortunate situation, but that's the only way you could say even have anyone to say, well, at least they got rid of everyone and started over, you know. Mike threw 2 under the bus behind closed doors. He'll be here. This team rewards backstabbers. If you know, you know. God, dog, Brad, bro. That's it. Jess, you got anything before we get up out of here?
No. Nothing at all from me.
Some people don't piss everybody up.
Mm.
What happened, Lou?
Oh, no, I've just been reading some of these dumbasses in the chat.
Whoo, Lord. They are. But that just goes to show you a lot of people have it's just comment. He say dumb man. Hey, listen, we didn't even tell y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, because we were basically I was addressing a lot of these people, seeing what a lot of people mindset at, and it's funny. It's funny how. Oh, I was going to say, when did I do something? They just tagged me in that. It's funny to see the mindset of people and be like, man, delusional said you can't talk to people that way. Yeah, man, you're gonna be in our chat, you're gonna be talked to. But listen, if y'all haven't hit that like button or that subscribe button, make sure y'all subscribe. I don't even know if we had a poll in the chat. That's kind of crazy. I didn't even pay attention. Did any of y'all pay attention?
No poll.
Like, all right. So listen, man, again, we didn't make any moves. We don't know where they're gonna go from here. No matter which way they turn, it's not gonna be ideal. That's my personal opinion. You don't want to put anyone in an unfortunate situation. Name call this for children. In an unfortunate situation, but hey, it is what it is. A lot of people don't want to hear the word patience. And I don't blame you. Trust me, I don't blame you. But for me, I think that's the best course of action. I think the only one that I would not be mad at is if we bring in a GM and say, hey, listen, man, start bringing your people in, building this team. So when we do move off him, you already have a head start. Just beat the Bills. I'm good. Heck no. And I ain't good. At this point, if you beat the Bills and you don't win any more games, you just beat them for no reason. But you might be the Bills might be to you what the Jets are to me. I don't care how bad we're doing. I just don't want to lose to the Jets. I don't care. It's crazy. But Lou, man, get us out of here, man.
Well, this has been the Wednesday episode of the Blitz Pickup.
He live in Buffalo. I get it.
Yeah. That's a fact. For Tone, for Jess, for myself, for the producer in the back, we'll see y'all Friday for the next episode of the Blitz Pickup. Tone, you asked me, though, if there was something else before we end the show that I wanted to get off. And I do actually. Jess, I need you to turn that frown upside down.
Upside down.
I'm going to give you some lottery numbers tonight, Jess.
Oh, my God.
Show ends. Go around the corner, Jess, to the local convenience store. Play these numbers. 38,
Hold on. Say it again. You low. It's 38 what? Something and 9.
13 and 9.
38, 13 and 9?
13 and 9. If you know, you know. For the people that do know, throw them purple hearts in the chat.
Oh,
my
God.
Lakers start in 12 minutes. We're taking down the big bad bully in the San Antonio Spurs. Numbers for tonight. 38, 13 and 9.
Billy Bassett say, what's Lewis what's Tua's lotto number then?
0, 0, and 0. Zeros across the board. Listen, you're not taking me down tonight with this Tua talk. 38, 13 and 9. Throw them purple hearts in the chat. The revolver, Jess, Tone. Tonight, the revolver goes to European basketball.
Jeez. That's a boot. I mean, that revolver.